a poem about honesty, inspired by Rudy Francisco. When people first meet me, they often comment, you know, you don't really talk much. But upon actually getting to know me, they realize that I still don't really talk much. In my defense, I am a little bit shy. And I've never really been good at finding the odd pieces of myself and dusting them off to show to strangers. But I do think that there is a difference between not saying much and knowing that silence is sometimes nature's best teacher. While it is true that I much further enjoy lending someone my ear than gift wrapping them my opinions, I'd be lying to say that the silence comes without burden. Because at times, it feels much more like a shield, or a wall, or a mask, or a prison than it sings my heartbeat's anthems, and I can no longer hide that on multiple occasions I have seen my silence from the corner of my eye, holding hands with my insecurities. I have caught it playing footsie under the table with my doubts, and walked in as it sucked fear-shaped hickeys into the neck of what should have been my confidence. Since we're on the subject of insecurities, let's just say that the last time a butterfly's wings graced me with their presence, they landed in between my shoulder blades. Probably in an attempt to remind my spine what it feels like to fly. The first thing I did was load my middle finger into my thumb and flick it away. I just couldn't make sense of why something so beautiful would choose to land on someone like me. Sometimes I wish I could stitch together my clothes with all those moments that I should have known better. That way people will know that my seams may not always be strong and I too can unravel from embarrassment. If you look into my notebook, you'd find more abandoned poems than abandoned cities and graveyards full of blank pages, because sometimes it feels better to bury my dreams before they ever had a chance than to watch them take that first step only to crumble into dust. See, I was planning on rebuilding Atlantis, but I have this feeling that I'm never going to get around to finishing construction, so it might just be better if you wash it away. I'm afraid of failing. I'm afraid that I'll never be good enough for you. My men, listen up. I know that many women struggle with their bodies, which is honestly completely understandable. I mean, considering the amount of racism, sexism, and objectification that comes out of my brothers' mouths on a daily basis. I know that socialization and traditional gender roles tell us that men aren't supposed to have body image issues, but I also know that I can't recall the last time I walked in front of my mirror without trying to make myself look thinner. See, I see my body naked almost every day, but I'd only need 3 fingers to tell myself how many times I've looked into my eyes and smiled at my own reflection. This may sound pathetic, but I never really got over the very first girl I ever had a crush on. And that was in 3rd grade. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy with being single and enjoy every second spent replacing rusty bolts and fine-tuning the parts of myself that just don't work right yet. But that doesn't mean that the grip on my pillow at night is any less tighter, or that waking from wet dreams is any less lonely. I am Chicano and I am proud to say that. So tell me why I cannot seem to find the courage to practice my Spanish with someone who grew up speaking it. It was the language of my ancestors, my grandfathers, my grandmothers. On my dead body, I swear it will be again the language of my children. So why, when I finally find the courage to speak, does it still sound like a lost cause? Because every word I hear coming out of my mouth only reminds me of the shame living right underneath my tongue and the scraps of assimilation I just can't seem to get out of my throat. I wish I could cut open my heart and bleed murals across the areas of flesh where there aren't already scars, painting only with my faults, only with my mistakes, only with my insecurities and deepest fears. You see, there are many things you don't know, things I hide under poster boards and awkward silences, but I also wonder, what if instead of disguising the truths of our lives in picture frames and burying them in shoeboxes slid under the bed, what if we could take all our imperfections, all our fears, all the what-ifs, and tattoo them like labyrinths on our skin?
That way we can more easily find those who truly love us by how much time they spent tracing our complexities and soothing our wrong turns with their fingertips. Now I must warn you that these pieces are not yet perfect, nor will they ever be, and that at times they probably won't be all that nice to look at. They will break and run and they will bleed, but have comfort in trusting that they will still be more beautiful than all the glittered lies we've used to cover them. And at least this way, we start being honest with one another.